Session. I'm honored to have Amit sir with me today. Amit sir is from ISB, by the way, and he's the Associate Director, Admissions and Financial Aid at ISB Hyderabad. And ISB, this year started with CAT, and that was a surprise for a lot of people out there. We were not expecting ISB will also, start accepting CAT. So my very first question, now for the fact, you are coming up with this CAT acceptance for your program, how is this Dosalka program will be different from the YLP program, which has been there since so many years, I would say.
Sure. So, YLP in a sense was not a program per se. It was an entry route to the flagship, to the one-year PGP program that we had at ISB. So, in YLP, people could apply in the third year and final years, and they would get a deferred admission offer for the PGP program. That is, they graduate from the college, they work for 20 months, and they come and join the program directly after those 20 months in the one-year PGP program. Now,
Hmm.
having said that, when we discussed with a lot of students, when we were interacting with students and also recruiters on the other side, we found that a lot of students want to join ISB or do their MBAs right after they graduate. They are very clear that they want to do an MBA. They don't want to wait for 2 years. They know that this is the career I want and this is what I want to go into. So that was one feedback which we got from students. And on the other hand, a lot of recruiters also said, we want experienced folks, we want people who can come and hit the ground running, but we also want candidates who, we could groom them in our organizations and groom them into leadership roles eventually. So there was a clear, demand for such graduates, and there was also from both the sides. And that was one of the reasons why we started this program for people who want to do their MBAs right at the onset. They don't want to wait for 2 years or
Makes sense.
3 years before they graduate. So that's the whole genesis of the program. And we did a lot of research from the student community, from the recruiters community, from other stakeholders, and that's the reason this program has replaced the erstwhile YLP. And the only difference is now that you can join right after you graduate. You don't have to wait for 20 months to or gain a work experience, and you get a customized or you get a program which is for freshers. So people who come with work experience already know what it takes to be in an organization, in terms of the various functions and so on and so forth. But people who are coming in as freshers will need certain initiatives, and those initiatives are incorporated in the two-year program, like the internships, the experiential learning component, the ideas labs, and so on and so forth, which we'll talk more about, when we in during the course of this discussion.
So again, the follow-up question would be, what will be the admissions criteria in a nutshell?
Hmm.
Is there any criteria? Is there any work ex criteria? Is there any criteria with respect to the graduation? Something like that.
Hmm.
So would you mind, kind of giving a little idea on that?
Sure. So admission criteria is very simple. As I mentioned, that this is for people who are going to be who can join the program right after graduation. So this is
Hmm.
right now. This is for people who are with 0 to 2 years of work experience. So you should either be in the final year of your college and be graduating by June of next year, 2025. The classes
Hmm.
start in July. So by the time you join the program, you should be a graduate, and you should have no more than 24 months of work experience as on 15th of June 2025. So as long as
Okay.
your work experience is less than 24 months, you are eligible to join this program in that particular year. And in terms of the test scores, we look at, of course, the GMAT and GRE is what we used to take for YLP and also YLP program, and what we take for the PG program also. But
Hmm.
now, since a lot of freshers are going to be part of this program, people who are in their colleges, and a lot of them tend to take CAT examinations. So we also have an option of people to apply through CAT for this program. So we'll
Hmm.
take GMAT, GRE, and CAT. Any one of the test score is perfectly fine for people to apply to this program. So if you're taking GMAT and GRE, your test score should be ready as on the date that you apply. If you're taking CAT, CAT will be accept CAT 2024. So results won't come out by December. But so you can just
Right.
apply with your CAT application ID, the CAT registration number, and we'll get your scores directly from the CAT body.
Right. Right. Okay. Now, for the fact you made a mention about CAT, any ballpark number as a cutoff for this program via CAT? Because a lot of students are keen on understanding that.
Sure. So, for people who follow ISB, people who have been part of YLP or run a program, they'll know that we follow a very holistic selection process. So we don't have cutoff on individual parameters. That is, we don't look at minimum level of academics or minimum level of GMAT or GRE scores, but we have a cutoff on the overall profile score, which consists of your acads, which consists of your test scores, your other activities, your essays, and such. And those cutoffs are used to call people for interviews. Now, when you have such holistic cutoffs, what can happen is, even if you fall short in one particular area, let's say your CAD's on the lower side, you can cover it up in the GMAT, GRE, or CAT, or vice versa. Let's say your GMAT is slightly lower, but your CAD's are exceptional. You are very good in some one area, or the maybe sports, co-curricular, extracurricular. You still may cover up in those areas. So that's the reason we won't have a set cutoff for this particular program. But I'll give you an idea of the kind of cutoffs people can expect. This is your parameters. So we are, as of now, India's number one B school in terms of the FT MBA Global Rankings 2024, and now we're getting into this 0 to 2 years space also. So it's going to be competitive. It's not going to be a cakewalk, but it's not also going to be like that. You need to get 99 percentile only, and then only we'll look at you. No, we'll
Right.
look at you as a whole, and of course, a 99 percentile helps, but we look at your other parameters also. So in that sense, my personal sense would be that around 95 percentile at least is what somebody needs to get into the program.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Um, and we should not be expecting any sort of a sectional cutoff for ISB. It is the overall cutoff that we are looking at.
Overall cutoff is what we're looking at.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So, sir, just a follow-up question. The way SP Gens has this sort of a methodology that, they will be opening their forms, and there will be a calls given basis the profile. That's called as
Mhm.
profile-based calls. And then they have
Mm.
profile come score-based calls, right?
Mm.
Now, the dilemma here is that a lot of students are brilliant when it comes to their CADs and all. We've got students from IT, NIT, SRCC, but
Mm.
last year CAT was difficult. Quants
Mm.
was horrible. So a lot of
Mm.
people are not sure how much they're gonna score, right? Whether they'll be able to cross 95 or not. And sometimes ऐसा हो जाता है that they were not expecting 90, but they get 97, 98.
Mm.
So will there be any chance कि let's say in the month of January, right,
Mm.
कि window open हो जाए
Mm.
and score plus profile combination का कुछ window open हो जाए? Ever this is just going to be one thing, and it's done and dusted, and don't expect dates to get extended later on. How it's going to work?
No, that's not how it's gonna work. So again, we will not be calling people just basis profile, because we'll call people basis scores plus profile. Scores are an integral part of a profile per
Got
se.
it. Uh-huh.
So all the interview calls will happen after the CAT results itself.
Hmm.
So although you apply in December, but all once we get the CAT results, only then we'll pull in all the applications, get the profile scores done, and then call the people who make the cut. And again, as I mentioned here, the process is very holistic. We don't look
Hmm.
at individual parameters. We won't say, oh, CAT 98 nahi, oh, CAT 93 bilkul nahi. ऐसा नहीं, it's not like that. It's that we look at all your parameters. We look at what are your CADs are, what kind of initiative you have taken in education, what kind of projects you have done, internships you have done, maybe what kind of extracurriculars you have, what kind of essays you have mentioned in the application. All those things will be converted into a score, and shortlisting will happen on that particular score. So in that sense,
Okay.
it could also happen that somebody with a very low scores makes it to the interview stage and beyond. So if you look at, I don't have any historical trends for this because CAT is there for the first time, but I can give you a
Hmm.
trend for GMAT and GRE. If you look at the
Yeah.
GMAT and GRE scores in the 1 year program that we have, the median is 710 in the classical format, 655
Hmm.
now in the focus edition. But the
Right.
range, if you look at, it's from 610 to 780, right? So
Oh.
somebody with 610 is also in the class right now because
Hmm.
he has something else which others, may not, which is a standout feature in his profile. Maybe an international
Hmm.
work experience. Maybe he's a sportsman. Maybe he has got co-curricular activities. He's got patents. Something which ensures that he makes it to the class even with the 610. So same thing is expected to be seen in this program as well. So if you have something in your profile, if you have achievement orientation, if you have leadership skills, if you have shown innovation and initiative, if you have shown
Hmm.
an entrepreneurial mindset, apply regardless of the score, and you have a chance to make it to the cohort.
Perfect. So, the IIMs are now looking ahead for gender diversity and academic diversity. Any these kind of thing we can expect from ISB in their sort of shortlisting?
Of course, of course. So we
That's
don't,
nice.
unlike the IIMs, we don't have
Huh.
quotas for any of the, you know,
Got it. Reservation
parameters.
high knee, SC, ST, PWD, nothing
Reservation
like that.
high, not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
for engineers or even women. We won't say we will not want to have this much women. No, but we have a selection process which is inbuilt in such a way that we are able to have a wide representation of people. So if you look at our PGP cohort,
Mm,
47% women in the class, which is among the highest, in comparable global B schools. So Harvard is around that number. If you look at
mm,
engineers versus non-engineers, 56% engineers, 44% non-engineers in the class, and we have people from 16 industries and 19 functions, or 19 industries and 16 functions in the classroom. So all that is part of the evaluation process that we have, and that attracts such diversity to the class. So we have lawyers, we have doctors, we have people from the
nice.
sciences side, the art
Mm,
side, uh, and that's all without any quota. We don't say that this percentage women we need to have at least. No, it's all part of the profile cutoffs that we have.
perfect, perfect.
So you can
Um,
expect in PG while also a very diverse group of peers, and that's actually a philosophy of our curriculum as well, because you learn not just from
mm,
faculty, you learn from your peers in the classroom. And for us, a
mm,
diverse classroom is very important, where students will learn from people who come from different walks of life and different functions and backgrounds.
okay, fantastic. Now, sir, my question would be like, this is something students have been sort of asking me that, "Okay, Ketan sir, you should be asking this to the ISB folks for sure." And no mean to do the comparison, but then now since the time news has been out that ISB is now getting into 2 years ka, bracket. So there's a direct comparison that's happening with Ahmedabad, Bangalore, and Calcutta, which is
Mhm.
very obvious, Amit sir. We can't skip that, right?
I understand,
So,
yeah.
so do you believe that yes, the crowd which was more into ABC, and if at all you don't make it, ISB is the place that can give you that sort of a platform. Any comment on this?
Sure, sure. So ABC are great B schools. They have been here in India for more than 50 years now. They have done tremendous contributions to the management education in India. And ISB over the last 2 decades, we are not operating in that particular space in the
Exactly.
0 2 years. Now we are coming in. We have also taken a lot of strides in terms
Mhm.
of contributions to student community in the management education space. And one key indicator of that is the placements. And if you
Yeah.
see, a lot of students are going to look at what kind of placements they're going to get, what kind of element network they're going to get, what is the long term return, what is the short term return, in terms of their investments, and the kind of curriculum and faculty they have access to. Now, in all of this, we have proven ourselves in the 2+ years space. We talk about the placements. We have one of the best placements in the country for a 800 plus batch size. We are actually number one in consulting and tech. And we have a huge diversity in other areas. Name any consulting company, they hire from ISB, and same legacy will be continued for the PGP while folks as well. So one area is taken care of. That's where you'll get best in class placements. Second
Perfect.
aspect is your alumni network. Although PG
Hmm.
While is a young program, it's just starting out, but our PGP program already has 16,000 plus alums across our you know PGP suite of programs, who are spread
Fantastic.
across 60 plus countries and 400 plus cities. So the PG While students also will be part of the same alumni network, giving them access to world class mentorship across in the world from various industries. That's the second aspect. The third aspect is faculty. So we have a global faculty model. Faculty from all over the world are coming and teaching a cutting edge curriculum. So curriculum at PGP YL is actually designed in such a way that it will comprise apart from the regular management courses, all courses will have an element of tech, data, and analytics, because we believe that in today's environment, and
Mhm.
any business manager needs to have an understanding of tech, data, and analytics to solve problems. I'm not saying it's going to be a technical course, but it's going to have give you an understanding of that in relation to management. So those are the three key distinct advantages that we have for this particular program, and that will ensure that in the coming years we'll not just be an alternative to ABNC. We will be competing on those with the students
True that.
for them.
True that. True that. So I think the placement thing has been taken care of, absolutely. And I think I see that kind of confidence, when you talk about placement. So I think, I mean, in a very silent way, we have said that, we have arrived and we're going to be competing, that's for sure. Because the dilemma used to be like, whenever I used to rank B schools, right, on my channel also, I could never keep ISB in that bucket because
Hmm.
the formats are very different, right? It's a
Hmm.
1 year program and it's known for exec, and ISB used to get compared with Harvard's and the Yale, so on and so forth, right? So I think now the competition will be, head to head, wherein, we would be ranking ISB in that zone. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you so much for clearing that part, sir. Um, my next question will be like anything on the intake front you want to talk about, like these are the like maybe 200 plus whatever the number that you want to talk about, and also anything that students should be taking into consideration if they want to apply. So anything to do with the application process, if you want to talk about, sir.
Yeah. So the intake is expected to be around 140 to 150 for the initial
Okay.
year, and all of those 140 to 150 will be in a Hyderabad campus. So we actually follow a philosophy called one school, two campuses, where for our PGB program, the students are split across the two campuses. But for PGB,
Hmm.
while since we are going to have a intake of 140 to 150 to begin with, we don't want to
Okay.
split them across campuses because we want them to network among themselves as well. So that's the reason why the intake is going to all the students are going to be in Hyderabad campus to begin with, and eventually they will have it across both the campuses as well. Now,
Okay.
in terms of admissions criteria, and before that, let me just address why the intake is going to be 140, 150. A lot of people would have you said why not 200, why not 300? So it's all a function of the facilities that we have, and we want to
Hmm.
ensure that anybody who comes to our programs, whether be it for a full-time programs or modular programs, gets the same facilities, and there's no compromise on that. And hence, once we upgrade our infrastructure, we'll maybe adding more to the numbers to this figure. But 150 is what we're looking at on the upper side. It could be between 140 to 150 anywhere, depending on the cutoffs that we have for this year. Now, regarding the admissions criteria, there are two rounds of applications. December 15th is round one, and March last week of March is round two. The exact date for round two will announce maybe in due course
Okay.
by first week of December, and
Okay.
then you can apply via CAT, GMAT, and GRE in any of the three rounds. If you apply by CAT, by GMAT or GRE, you need to have scores in your hand, or you need to have written the test already to apply.
Okay.
And if you apply
Right.
by CAT, then you should have written CAT 2024, at least register for CAT 2024. So if you register
Hmm.
for CAT 2024, you apply with your registration number, and later on we get your scores directly from the CAT body. So those are the key requirements, and you should graduate by
Right.
15th of June 2025, and no more
Hmm.
than 24 months of work experience on that day.
Right. So you said you talked about the March thing, right? So are we considering the forms will be open till March, or are we talking about the interview process till March?
No, portal will be open till March.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So most of them would get the CAT score by then, and
Yes,
it will be
yes. The portal will
perfect.
be open
Perfect.
for March, two rounds. First round interviews will happen in around February, and second round
Okay.
interviews will happen by around April. And final results for first round will be out by March mid, and by
Hmm.
for second round it will be out by around April and May first week.
Right. And June say we start with the proper
June, say we start
like
with the
perfect.
proper, yeah.
Perfect. So you are also associate director for the financial aid. You also take care of the scholarships, right? And I know it's a big amount for students out there. I would love to understand what is the the total expenses that the students are looking at for the 2 years, including everything. And if
Mhm.
they want to apply for scholarships, what sort of eligibility criteria are there, and who will
Sure.
be able to sort of get this?
Able to.
Please.
Sure. So first, I'll touch upon the fee structure. So the fee
Hmm.
structure for the 2-year program is 21 lakh 65,000 plus
Hmm.
GST, which includes all your study materials, all your deposits, all your library fee, and other things. The accommodation is separate for 2 years, which is 3 lakh 95,000 for the 2 years at the ISB campus. Students have to stay on campus, and they stay in quads. Quads is essentially four BHK apartments on the campus, where they'll share one apartment, and they'll get one room and share living spaces like the kitchen and the living area. Uh,
Hmm.
Total cost, including your accommodation, including your taxes and everything, comes to around 29 lakhs 65,000 for the 2-year program. So that's a total cost that you are expected to pay for the program for 2 years. And this
Right.
does not include your living expenses. That is your mess bills and your laundry or local travel, etc. Everything else is part of your 2,65,000 plus GST, including inclusive of GST. Now, how do you finance this amount? There are a lot of options. First, of course, as you mentioned, is scholarships. So we expect to offer around 50 to 40 to 50% of the batch some sort of scholarship or other. And there are
Mhm.
two types of scholarships, essentially merit scholarship and merit cum means scholarship. Now, merit scholarship is for people basis their performance in the selection process. So there we look at their CADs, we look at their work, of course, not the work, the CADs, their test scores, their essays, their activities, and the letters of recommendation and the interview performance. All that combined, is your overall score. Higher up in the overall score you are, higher your chance of scholarship. And here we'll offer up to 100% of tuition fee waiver to candidates and minimum 33% as part of the waivers in this particular category. So this is merit scholarship. There's also merit cum need scholarship. So this is for people whose annual family income is less than 18 lakhs per annum. So if your annual family income is less than 18 lakhs per annum, you apply to merit cum need scholarship as part of the application process itself, and we'll give you waivers again depending upon your need and your merit, and you get waivers up to 100% of tuition fee waivers and a minimum of 33% tuition fee waivers under this category also. So approximately 20 crores worth of scholarship is what we are expecting to distribute in the coming years as part of scholarships. Other thing is we have tie-ups with almost all banks in the country. With the ISB offer letter, any bank, whether public sector bank or private sector bank, will give you rates, loans at very attractive rates of interest and attractive terms. So no collateral or required or guarantor required till 40 lakhs loan for ISB offer letter. So that's the few things which we have done to ease the financial issues that the students want to be part of this program.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so very much, sir. And last but not the least, any sort of advice you want to give it to them, because their cat is around the corner now. I think after 20 days they'll be writing the cat. Any advice from your side?
Yeah. So, in terms of CAT examination, what I'll suggest, being a CAT test taker myself, although I took it, long back, and the times have changed a lot, but I'll
Mhm.
suggest, as part of the exam itself, don't stress yourself out on the last few days. Prepare, do your mocks, and use the last 2 days off to get into the zone of writing the examination. But from a point of view of an ISB evaluation process, I want to tell candidates that CAT is not the be all and end all for selection at
Mhm.
ISB. We or any other test for them at GRE or GMAT. We look at your holistic profile score, of course, but you need to get at least some sufficient level of performance in the CAT. So don't fret if you get one question wrong here and there, and if you get 97 versus a 999. We look at holistic profile. We'll give you consideration for other parameters also. But wish you all the best and do well and get at least a decent performance in your test score, whether it's CAT or GMAT or GRE.
Fantastic. Amit sir, thank you so very much for giving some time. And I'm very sure this was really helpful. I think you've covered everything, almost you touched base on everything. And it's a one video that can help a lot of students, by the way. Would love to stay in touch, sir, and would love to follow up on any other things as far as the admissions are concerned.
Sure, sure, sure. Always happy to interact with students and make them have the best decisions. So in case you need any further inputs from us, be feel free to reach out and we'll be happy to connect with you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot, Amit sir. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you. Bye, sir.